What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/FatPeopleStories. Alright, here we have the last Cousin Carney story. I know, crazy. It says part 11, but it's actually part 10. But anyway, I'm back with another Cousin Carney story. I only have a couple more stories after this one because she eventually left town and was no longer my problem. I know some people think I should have cut her out of my life much sooner, but hey, think of all the many hours of amusement we've all gotten from the fact that I didn't. By now, you know that if you had a list of possible actions to take in any given situation, A being the best choice to make and D being the worst choice, Carney would choose the D every damn time. Okay, there's two routes I could go with that. I'm gonna choose the more tasteful. Yeah, I would choose the D too. Jack Black and Kyle Gass are very talented musicians. Unless she could somehow find an option E. She was just really dumb and lazy. She would make horrible decisions, but still reserve the right to whine about the consequences. This story is a little bit about her being fat, but mostly about her being dumb. One afternoon, Carney called me up quite upset because her purse had been stolen. This is a terrible situation, so I started out feeling quite a bit of sympathy for her. But being the curious person I am, I asked a couple of questions. They stole your purse? That's terrible.
I know. I had to cancel my bank card and they'd already used it, so I had to have the transactions reversed. They stole my cash, at least $25 that I'll never get back. And now I have to find the time to go down to the DMV and get a new license. This is the worst day of my life. I hate thieves.
I'm so sorry. That's rough. What happened? Was it a purse snatching? Did someone steal it out of your card while shopping?
No, it was in my car at the time.
This is where it becomes a Cousin Carney story. Keep in mind, she had a fairly old, beat-up car. Oh no! They broke into your car to get your purse? Did they pop the lock? Did they bust the windows? How much damage are you looking at?
No, they didn't break anything. The car wasn't locked.
Forgive me, but why did you leave your purse in your unlocked car?
Because the door is busted on the driver's side. If I lock the door, I can't open it again from the outside and have to climb into the passenger side. It's really difficult. So I just don't bother locking it all. I don't really have a choice.
Try your best not to imagine obese Carney struggling to get into the driver's seat from the passenger seat. It'll either scar you for life or leave you laughing loudly so that everyone around you will turn to stare at you. Possibly both. Okay, I mean, I guess I can understand that, but why would you leave your purse in your car when you can't lock the doors?
Because I was at work at the time. They won't give us lockers to put our purses in, so I can't bring my purse into work.
She was a cashier at a failing national retail chain that is now out of business. So, you think your purse is safer out in the parking lot in an unlocked car than in the employee break room?
Yes.
Well, Carney, I mean, wouldn't it just be safer to leave your purse at home then?
I have to have my driver's license when I drive.
Okay, but can't you just carry your license in your pocket or something?
When I get done with work, I'm going to be hungry, and I'm gonna need cash or my debit card to go get something to eat. And what if I have to run errands after work? What am I supposed to do?
Well, I don't know, Carney. Maybe carry your cash or debit card in your pocket? I'm not trying to victim blame. No one should go into your car and steal stuff, but of all the choices she could have made in this situation, why choose leaving her purse in an unlocked car? Of course, she has to eat fast food on her way to and from her 6-hour shifts at a fast food place. There are no other options. She might otherwise starve to death. So that's how she lost her purse. And if you thought she learned her lesson, she didn't. No, of course she did. Some months later, she called me for sympathy over a new sob story. Her car apparently broke down on the way home from work one night. It's unclear how she got home. Maybe her husband picked her up, or maybe she took a cab. Apparently, she left behind, in her car, Christmas presents she'd recently bought. When she and her husband went back to get her car the next afternoon, she says the Christmas presents had been, you guessed it, stolen.
I can't believe people would steal from my car, and at Christmas time, too. Now my money is gone, and I won't be able to give anyone Christmas presents. I hate thieves.
This time, I didn't even ask why she'd left them in the car, or if she'd left the car unlocked again, or because at that point, I was no longer amused by her stories. I didn't want to hear her bizarre, nonsensical explanations anymore. Even if she had locked the doors this time, it still seemed an odd idea to just leave the presents in a broken down vehicle. Although, I don't know, maybe if a cab picked her up, there was just no room? So when she told me about the stolen presents, I just said to her, well, gee, that sucks, and got out of the conversation. Edit. Oops. I think this was supposed to be part 10. Now, everyone will always wonder what happened to part 10. Ha ha! And it sucks, but this is the last Cousin Carney post. I checked the profile. They posted like another thing, a couple things after this. Everything was a year ago, but then 28 days ago, as recording this, they posted something to r/eBay. So I guess Cousin Carney is done for now, and probably for good. I don't know. Maybe we'll get another entry. Unlikely though. Let's start a petition. I don't want to do the work though. Someone else do it. Anyway, Cousin Carney, what a wild saga that was. She was bonkers and kind of dumb, kind of gross, yeah. But she provided us with, as OP said, user paprika time, many hours of entertainment, probably, if we added it all up. But, anyway, funny last entry because, yeah, that's Cousin Carney for you. This story's called EMS versus the Hams. Desk job and Brovid-19 tests. Long, me sorry. I did a really cool thing a month ago. I broke my leg. I hate my life even more than I did before, which is really saying something. During the course of my volunteering to help with the Brovid overload, I caught it myself last. My symptoms were high fever, cough, and debilitating fatigue. So debilitating that I could barely make it up the stairs to bed. And by barely, I mean I didn't, and I fell down the stairs. Hence the breakage of the leg. I'm still, yes, still, volunteering to help with the ever-growing Brovid cases, but unfortunately not zombie apocalypse. Being unable to gallivant around on my 2 feet, I was downgraded to intake since I couldn't do much besides whack people with my crutches, and that's not allowed. The hospital system I volunteered for, as well as the 2 other major hospital systems in the area, require a doctor's order or one going through testing for symptoms before receiving a test. Asymptomatic? No test. This was done to lessen the influx of people who, think they might have it, because various places like Walgreens and CVS offer testing with no prerequisites. After telling about 15 people who heard their brother's mother's twice removed, deceased since 2000 cousin had Brovid that they needed to go elsewhere for testing, I was gifted a ham. This ham was of epic proportions and on oxygen. Entering her name into the system, I found that she has had COPD for years, refuses to quit smoking, and frequently comes into the ER complaining of wheezing. All in all, she's a frequent flyer, with the wheezing being nothing more than a symptom of her overwhelming disregard for her life, yet high expectations for others to drop everything and help. Help what exactly? Help equals tell her to stop smoking. Aside, the fact that she smokes while having oxygen via nasal cannula is extremely frightening and even more dangerous. If anyone you know does this, slap them. Also, if a nursing home on the west side of Cleveland, Ohio goes up in flames, that has absolutely nothing to do with my story. Sick Ham wheels her extra large ham chair up to my reception cubicle of purgatory, smacking her oxygen card into the back of the chair of the person speaking with the next door intake lady. She kept hitting the back of the guy's chair until he stood up and said a lot of very unkind but also true things about stuff. Once she's situated and I'm looking for my cyanide capsule, she said she's been wheezing and needs to be tested for
that China sick
immediately. Since I haven't the smallest molecule of customer service persona left inside me, I tell her that her wheezing has been a constant complaint for the last 6 years. Unless she has any other symptoms, then she will have to be tested elsewhere. She demands I take her temperature, so I do by using one of those forehead infrared thermometers. 98.7! She's fine. I tell her so and I wait for her to get the frick out. She remains steadfast.
That test was wrong. I feel warm. Do it again.
Fine. Shocker. 98.7.
I said I feel warm. I know I have a high temperature. Your machine is wrong.
3 more times. Same temperature. She asks for a supervisor. I tell her that a supervisor won't change the fact that she has a normal temperature and no other symptoms that would allow us to give her a test. CVS has a drive-through self-test. It'll be quick and easy. Continues demanding supervisor. Supervisor comes and takes the test. 98.7. Ham freaks. Screams that she feels warm all over. I'd had enough by that point and mentioned that her body mass is likely why she feels warm, as there's, well, a lot of it. After a lot of screeching and unkind words, I was told to stop volunteering. Thank frickin' whatever god that delivered me from that bullcrap. That's kind of really funny. That was a good story. I'm glad that testing is a lot easier now. Thank you for that one, Avi. Good one. This story's called Hamrito Learns the Way of the Ninja. I guess this reads like a green text. B18. At university. Friend wants to try ninjutsu class. New experiences.jpg. Tells me that a guy in his class is going as well. Arrive early. Start getting changed. Lights flicker. Air raid sirens wail. Plaster showers down from the ceiling. Hamrito has arrived. 5'6", maybe 270 pounds of jiggle, greasy hair, greasy face. My friend is barely escaping his gravitational pull. Sensitive psycho, meet Hamrito. Greasy handshake. Suppress mean thoughts, maybe he's just trying to make it. Benefit of the doubt.jpg. 2-liter bottle of sugary sports drink. Frickin' ninja shoes. The ones with 2 toes. Toppy, I think. The cherry on top. La pièce de résistance. Goddamn Naruto headband. Class starts. Okay, folks, these first few lessons will be about core strength and flexibility. If you don't have a decent level of fitness, you're going to have difficulty keeping up. Sees Hamrito. Bert.jpg. Hamrito is too busy rehydrating after the walk from the changing rooms and staring at girls to notice. Begin with all sorts of bodyweight exercises. Burpees, planks, press-ups, crunches, pull-ups. I swim about 2 to 3 miles a day, and I'm sweating bullets. Look at Hamrito. Mother of God. Literally purple. Tidal wave of sweat pouring down his face. Holy crap, this is hard. Right, Hamrito? Death glare.
Scream battle.
Just trying to be nice.jpg. Another set of burpees. Girlish scream. Massive thigh. Fat hawk down, mother lovers. Hamrito is down like a ton of butter. Squealing like a pig. Instructor and assistants run to hell.
Don't freaking touch me!
Do you need an ambulance?
Are you freaking stupid? Yes!
Hamrito is at the back of the class, all the better to perv on girls. Ambulance tries to move him onto a stretcher. Most annoying sound in the world.mp3. Instructor gets sick of his bullcrap. They drag him out of the room by pulling the gym mat he is sprawled over. Hamrito screams about suing them. Instructor comes back. This is why we had you sign those waivers. Heart Heartwarming group laughter and exercise commences. Turns out Hamrito dislocated his knee with his own body weight. Feel kinda bad. Oh well, he was a prick anyway. You know what? We gotta give him points for trying, for showing up, for putting himself in that position to be absolutely humiliated. But I doubt he's come back. I mean, why would he? At this point, he's got a badass story.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I injured my knee in ninja training.
Alright, this story's called Inside the Ham Planet, the Medical Records. Part of my job involves looking into medical records. I have had the pleasure to intensely review thousands upon thousands of pages of medical records. Many of them belong to people with a BMI over 35, aka the Ham Planet. The differences in the medical records between normal and slightly overweight individuals and obese individuals are stark. Healthy weight individuals rarely require intensive medical care unless they are older or are injured. Obese individuals and morbidly obese individuals are quite a different story. It never ceases to amaze me how much money individuals will spend, how many pills they take, and how many ER visits they receive compared to healthy weight individuals. The average medical visits between a healthy weight individual and a Ham Planet, conservatively, 1 to 5. Wow. The medical care is never, I repeat, never due to weight, at least from the perspective of the Ham Planet. Most are looking for a quick and easy fix that takes away the pain but does not force them to make necessary changes to truly remedy the issue. I see people in their 30s receive heart surgery, IVC implants, and diagnoses of high blood pressure on the regular. It is routine for others in their 40s and 50s receiving dual knee or hip replacements due to the havoc they subjected their joints because they have been severely overweight for decades. I've never once seen a person attempt to lose weight in order to prevent further damage. And diabetes. People will spend thousands on insulin, pumps, and other necessities before they will even think about changing to a healthier diet. They are never diagnosed because of their poor dietary choices. It is always because it runs in the family. Oh, sweetie, no one runs in your family. Okay, that was unoriginal, I know. Ham Planets also spend an astonishing amount of time in the ED. Several visits a year to several a month. ER visits are usually due to things such as constipation and indigestion, joint pain, heart issues, diabetic issues, and septicemia. The answer to the problem is always a pill, an injection, or a surgery. In essence, a piece of gum stuck over a leaky pipe. It is never more fiber, less fat and sugar, or exercise to strengthen the weak joint-supporting muscles. It is never remedying a diet that puts immense stress on the heart and cardiovascular system. So many medical problems I see are unique to the morbidly obese. Healthier people rarely require such intense medical treatment unless they are injured or are higher up in age. So many of these problems could be helped by losing weight, exercising a few times a week, and changing to a sustainable diet. Many problems could be completely avoided if individuals never allow their BMI to creep up above 30 in the first place. This is not a single fat person's story, but rather a story of the collective damage that people do when they are ignorant of or choose to ignore healthy living advice. It makes me sad, sick, and angry at times to see how little some people seem to care about their bodies. I want to scream into the void. Care about your body for your health, your finances, your children and grandchildren, and your future. Everyone deserves great and unbiased medical care, but simultaneously, people need to take responsibility for their own health. That is where it starts. And then OP says, the medical records I view are of adults, usually aged 30 to 65. Wow, interesting perspective being provided here. That's a crazy number, that 1 to 5. Bonkers. But I guess somewhat makes sense, especially if this person is in America where everyone is fat and happy, just like we need be.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.